motivations, and give you a first look at gameplay. Let's get it, Mike.
Good, Mike.
Thanks, Tyrese. Gameplay in NBA 2K27 strives for the most balanced experience, with enhancements on both ends of the floor, all powered by ProPlay. From meaningful new offensive tools and animations to reworked defensive systems for a more rewarding experience. ProPlay continues to push the limits of authenticity in NBA 2K with its advanced machine learning capabilities. When players take the court in 2K27, they'll see heightened fidelity in animations and the evolution of real-time adjustments. As players around the league find new ways to create separation, we're finding new ways to innovate. Players of all skill levels will benefit from improvements to rhythm shooting, expanded dribbling customization, realistic layup gathers and ankle breakers, and a revamped takeover system. Let's dive in.
About fucking time. Fuck.
Shai, Ant, and Luka have become masters of the step-through up and under, freezing defenders and getting separation for clean looks.
Now, I'm not gonna lie.
You can now replicate that in 2K27.
This step-through shit gonna be some cheesy shit. Niggas gonna be doing some weird shit off that shit.
Perform a pump fake,
I don't
and
know
then
if
push
I
the
like
pro
this.
stick in one of 5 directions to trigger a step-through layup or jumper in the corresponding direction. Signature up and unders from players like Donovan Mitchell have been captured via ProPlay to bring these moves to life and add a brand new weapon to your offensive arsenal.
I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I don't think I'm feeling that. I feel like that shit gonna get real cheesy, bro. And niggas gonna be doing game breaking ass animation, bro.
In 2K27, the dynamic layup engine makes it so no two layups look identical. As players drive through the lane and contort in the air, their movements will reflect their signature style and finishing capabilities. High-rated finishers will benefit the most from this new engine. When a shot blocker is closing in, the system will automatically adjust a finisher's shooting hand to maneuver the ball out of reach. The better the player's rating, the more capable they are of making those mid-air adjustments. Advanced gathers like Euros and hop steps have been decoupled from the finish for 2K27. Rather than being locked into a preset animation, the dynamic layup engine automatically selects the most appropriate in-air finish for the situation. Gather resolutions are now logic-based, so when a high-rated finisher is attacking a weaker defender, they'll easily slip by. But if the shooter is going up against a high-rated defender, there's a higher chance they'll get jammed up, stripped, or blocked.
All time y'all did something with the defense. But let's not get too excited, because 2K, you feel
This
me?
year, we've
They
added
say
another
bullshit.
layer of skill to
It'll be
dunking.
the same
All
shit.
dunk attempts must now be timed with the dunk meter. For 2K27, the dunk meter evaluates defensive positioning from the start of the dunk attempt through the
Underscore
finish.
crazy.
Slashers who beat their defender will see a green window that expands accordingly based on how open it is. But if they get caught by a late closeout after a clean takeoff, the green window will tighten, making it tougher to complete the dunk. Show off your crossovers, jab steps, signature size-ups, and more with expanding dribbling customization in 2K27. Signature dribbling packages have been broken out into individual moves, so players
Now
can
that's gonna be
personalize
fire.
every
Now that- I
aspect
like
of their
that.
arsenal. Mix and match Kyrie's crossover with Trae Young's hesitation move, and experiment with endless animation combinations.
I ain't gonna
Be sure
lie.
to check out the gameplay courtside report.
It's gonna get real nasty for them dribble guys, bro, in 2K27. Y'all don't even know. Y'all think 26 is bad. This shit gonna be bad.
Blog to see the full list of animation categories. There are several exciting updates on offense this year, including new advanced controls. In 2K27, you can perform breakdowns while moving. Just hold the right trigger and flick up on the pro stick to perform that player's signature dribble combo while driving against a defender. You can also throw no-look passes by holding R1 and flicking the pro stick at your intended teammate. Finishing alley-oops now feels more intuitive. The button you press corresponds to the direction of the pass, so reading the play tells you exactly what to do. You can also flick the pro stick toward the pass at the right time to finish if you prefer. On the defensive end of the floor, hands-up defense and the shot contest system have been redesigned to give players added tools for more impactful gameplay. Play with intensity and contest shots with aggressive hands-up defense by holding the pro stick up. If you're in foul trouble, you can play conservatively by holding the right stick down to stay planted while walling up. The block button is still your go-to for aggressive shot block attempts, but it rewards anticipation, so timing is what separates a clean rejection from a foul or whiff. Shot coverage feedback now displays a color-coded 8-tier feedback system that clearly explains the quality of every contest. Additionally, for every shot attempt, defenders who contribute to the defensive impact score will light up a portion of a new defensive impact indicator under the shooter. The stronger the impact, the warmer the indicator becomes. A weak contest will show up as a small white arc, while a strong contest will be a larger red one. The added feedback helps illustrate shot contest logic more clearly than previous NBA 2K titles.
How motherfucking time?
Historically, ankle-breaking crossovers have been chance-based outcomes, but in 2K27, they're skill-based and logic-driven for the first time. This new system monitors a defender's momentum and body position in real time.
And that's crazy, because I've been saying this shit for years, bro. Like, the ankle breakers never made sense. Like, you got dudes just dribbling and just, like, hitting moves and you just fall and don't, like, no physical logic to it. About fucking time. I always said that a player should only fall if he got his momentum and he hold RT and he's going one way and then you do a snatch back or whatever and he go to, yeah. But all that, a nigga playing straight up defense and he get hit with 2-3 moves and just fall, like, come on, bro. Like,
to determine whether they're properly adjusting to the ball handler's changes of direction. If the ball handler cuts and catches the defender off guard, the likelihood of an ankle breaker significantly increases. Similar to other gameplay improvements, the defender's rating will be taken into account to decide how precisely they need to mirror the dribbler's movement and whether or not they can recover when they guess wrong. In 2K27, the defensive cutoffs have been expanded with the goal of giving defenders an answer for the explosive lateral movement options that dribblers have. Defenders are now able to counter a ball handler's escape moves and misdirections with a quick flick of the pro stick for a one-step cutoff to close an attacking lane, or by holding R2 to trigger a lunging cutoff to cover a wider gap. The higher a player's speed and agility ratings, the more successful they'll be in cutting off the ball handler and forcing them into a fumble or dribble pickup when using the cutoff move at the right time. In the NBA, a well-executed cutoff can jar the ball loose, and the same goes in 2K27. If a ball handler carelessly runs into a defender, a new collision system will weigh the ratings of both players to determine whether the contact is enough to knock the ball loose. It's still possible for the ball handler to lose control of the ball and regain it, but the system is designed to reward defenders who play physically and time their steals appropriately. 2K27 introduces a revamped takeover system that features 5 disciplines you can activate individually or all at once. Shooting, finishing, playmaking, defense, and rebounding disciplines are tracked independently throughout the game. Each has a dedicated takeover meter in the HUD. As the game progresses, discipline meters will increase and decrease based on your performance in that given area. As the meters fluctuate, each corresponding rating will receive boosts or penalties for how hot or cold you are in that discipline. The meters range from frozen, cold, and neutral to warm, hot, and takeover. Once you get hot in a certain discipline, it will trigger that takeover ability automatically. Be sure to check out the blog for the full list of the 24 takeover abilities.
That's actually fire.
Rhythm shooting is an authentic way to feel closer to your favorite superstars by using the Pro Stick to mimic a more traditional shooting motion, and it received some important upgrades for 2K27. The shot meter now features a tick mark that moves in sync with your Pro Stick movement. This is a real-time visual guide that will help with learning the ideal tempo. The closer you match the tempo, the wider your timing green window becomes, making it easier to knock down excellent releases. However, if you rush or drag the flick of the Pro Stick, the green window will shrink and demand pinpoint precision to make the shot. Based on community feedback, successfully making a shot with rhythm shooting now requires greening the timing. Detailed shot feedback will tell you if your timing is early or late and if your tempo is too fast or slow, so that you can improve and learn your shot's overall rhythm. In addition, rhythm shooting is now available at the free throw line. For players who actively practice their shooting with the Pro Stick, this transition will feel natural and seamless.
Bro, what?
Gameplay in NBA 2K27 provides more balance and versatility for a more rewarding experience. Compete at the highest level and make an impact with skill-based features that separate the greats from the best. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you on the court.
Huh? Still gotta wait till I get the game though.
We won't waste any time then,
You
Mike.
can't be lying, bro.
Let's get into what everybody wants
me
to know.
some.
I will just preface this saying this is gameplay only discussion.
Yep.
So let's start where everybody wants to know. Defense. NBA 2K27 is a big talking point in 2K26. Shot contest, the hands-up mechanic. What can you tell us in the direction that you've taken it?
All right, there's a lot here. So hands up was a big focus for us. So it's one thing I also want to mention is that it feels way more responsive. Like there was a lot of, we found cases where you'd be holding the stick and the guy just wouldn't do anything. So a lot of those, if not all, should be ironed out. So it feels a lot more responsive. So with 2K26, it was by
That's what I was
design
saying.
a
'Cause
little
it
bit
be
offense heavy.
times I was pressing the stick and my dude just didn't even do anything. Like he just stood there. Like what the fuck?
With 2K27, we really wanted to bring a little more balance to the game and get the scoring, both 2-point range, 3-point range, all that kind of more in line with at least the percentage of shots you see in the NBA. So we were very 3-point heavy in 2K26, and 2K27, the goal was to make sure that the shot contest kind of steered people toward where they should shoot, like in real life, right? And contests in general, we feel like they're in a pretty good spot. We're still making some tweaks, and they feel like, yeah, you're getting stops when you're supposed to get stops. So good defenders are getting rewarded. With shot contests, it's hard because it's easy to push something just a little bit too far, where all of a sudden no one can shoot, and then you dial that back even a little bit, and then you get a little bit of daylight. Depending on how good the person is on the stick, sometimes that is like an automatic bucket. So if it's not tuned precisely, or it's always just a balancing act. Now, one more thing on shot contest or with hands up. There's two versions of hands up now. And I want to make sure people know about this because we tried this a couple years ago. It confused people and we took it out. Okay. So there's two versions. There's a conservative hands up. If you're holding the right stick down, that'll keep you 10 toes down, feet planted, and you'll wall
I remember
up.
that
And
when
you
you
won't
hold
jump.
up, you'll go through the player.
No fouls. It's like a very conservative defense. But if you're holding right stick up, which most people already do, so no one's complained about it yet, but if you hold the right stick up, we were calling it the aggressive hands up. And so what it does is it still walls up, but if the shooter shoots, then you'll play like a mini jumping contest. So not a full out, all out block,
Right.
but it'll let you leave your feet and try and get a hand up in his face if he's rising up. So just something to be aware of because it'll cause you to jump and sometimes get a foul. So you need to be mindful of, do I want to stay down or do I want to have somewhat active defense? Because even on a driving layup, you'll get like some verticality blocks and contact shots with that mechanic. Whereas if you're holding down, he'll stay down and you won't get any of those.
We talk shot contest. Let's go to the other thing. Shooting. One of your personal favorite features, rhythm shooting.
Yeah.
Is it coming back? How is it different? If it's different, is it going to be available in all game modes? What can you tell us, rhythm shooting 2K27?
Yeah, rhythm shooting is back. The main difference this year is the 2K26, you only really had to nail the tempo,
Right.
and timing didn't matter so much. This year, how it works is you have to nail the timing. So it's pretty much just like the button, except for the tempo now, there's still two factors. The tempo component will adjust the size of the green window. So if you master your tempo, you'll have a little bit bigger green window. And if you rush a shot or you drag your shot, then it'll be a smaller window. So we try to balance it so that there's really no advantage over the button. That's the goal. So that's always a balancing act too, because some people are just really good at one or the other. Right. But it's very different from 2K26. You'll see when you play, it feels
Take that
a
shit
lot
out the
better
game,
balanced.
bro.
And yeah, a little more rewarding to use that mechanic this year. You can also use it for free throws if you want this year.
Before y'all
which is nice.
say, oh, niggas trash, this and that, nigga, I shoot 70% from three, bro, with the button, with X. That shit is broken and fucking cheap. It better fix that shit.
Edition. It's available still in all modes. You're probably going to use the button.
I personally am
shit
going to use the
broken,
button.
bro.
Yeah, I think so.
Staying on the topic of offense, dunk meter, 2K26, definitely a big talking point in the community. Dunk meter back, 2K27, I would assume, and if changes made, what can you tell us?
Yeah, some big changes with dunks for 2K27.
First off, all dunks are timed now, so it's not just holding down on the right stick. It's all directions on the stick and it's to the button. So every dunk needs to be timed. For the dynamic part of the dunk system, and what it does now is in 2K26, and a lot of people notice this, is once you got past a certain point in the dunk, it was never allowed to grow, only shrink. And then we locked it. And that was a design decision because we were seeing early on that if you took off with an open lane, you could easily just get really big green windows and you're making every dunk. So that was kind of a balancing decision there. With 2K27, now it can open up or it can shrink past that point. So it's fully dynamic, just like layups have been. And yeah, so with the dunking meter and that being on all the time, just not to worry people, like when you're open or you're taking good, wide open lane dunks, or you're under the basket and no one's around you, or you're a good dunker, the meter's pretty huge. Like you can't really miss it, especially if you're open. Mm-hmm. So we're trying to make it a skill game there too, though. If you're really good at dunking and you try the more risky dunks, then that's when it's going to be a little more challenging to hit those meters.
So the dunk meter will adjust all the way from the point of starting the dunk all the way to the point of...
Yeah, and the better dunkers obviously will have a bigger window than the worst dunkers.
Okay, shooting in 2K27. A big thing that's going around the community, RNG. Is it coming back? Are we staying, with the no RNG shooting system? Also, can you compare like green window size compared to 2K26 or even prior 2Ks? What would you compare it to? Shooting overall.
That's a really good and loaded question and difficult to answer question. Let me start off with the window sizes. They're tighter than last year. So overall, I'd say they're tighter, with the caveat that on the lower difficulty levels, like rookie and semi-pro, I think they're actually bigger, like quite a bit bigger. Okay. So, as you know, like our audience and our fan base is ginormous, and the skill gap is all the way from like little kids to like you guys and the pros who play every single day. So we got to try to accommodate all the audiences, and so that's where it gets to be a tricky tuning thing. But no RNG. Green and miss on all modes, including rookie. So you have to hit the green windows to make your shots. If you're outside even a pixel, then you're going to miss it.
Switching back over to defense, another big talking point. Bumps, bump steals, overall defensive movement. What's different? What can we look forward to?
Huge emphasis for us this year across the board. It's defense. Defense is a lot faster, movement-wise. You'll cover a lot more ground as an on-ball and off-ball defender.
Game's quite a bit more bumpy, as you guys like to say. Mm-hmm. We spent a lot of time on body ups, improving coverage, and just making sure that there weren't these holes that would cause ball handlers to slip by the defenders. Yep. So that feels a lot tighter now. Still working on the balance there, so that it doesn't feel like even like subpar defenders can stop everybody, but we're still working on that.
What else?
Bump steals.
Bump steals are very different now. So what we did...
If you remember last year in patch 2, we introduced kind of a live ball for a day or two. Mm-hmm. Good and bad. It taught people not to dribble into defenders, but it kind of made the game a little chaotic, and the ball was popping free way too much, more than we wanted to, more than even defenders who were like in good position but weren't really making steal attempts or getting steals, and that's not a very good game balance either. So with 27, we've changed our ball collision system quite a bit, where it's now trying to look at you as a defender and your steal ratings and my ball handle ratings, and it's like basically it changes the outcome of what happens when you collide with the ball based on those deltas. So if you're a really good defender and you pop the ball, then yeah, you'll probably get a bump steal, it'll pop out. But if you're a really bad defender and you kind of graze the ball, then what will happen is the dribble will kind of just bobble it and fumble the ball and recover it. So it's kind of a middle ground between having a ball that can kind of clip through defenders and where a completely live ball that's always just like popping all over the place.
In 2K26, a lot of the dribble moves had different sensitivities to how the ball would pop out. Escape seemed almost impossible to knock the ball loose. Behind the back seemed much easier to knock the ball loose. Has that been reworked at all?
Yeah, so the behind the back part was a very specific fix for what we had was sometimes you do the pippin behind the back and you would actually just shove defenders out of the way. So what we did was we did a collision check. So if I'm colliding with a defender, basically if I would have pushed him away with that move, then it's saying, no, you can't do that. It like jarred the ball free. So that's why it was doing that so much on behind the backs. And we didn't have that same logic on escapes. That's why it didn't happen there. But the new collision, the ball collision system and the fumbles and the steals, that's all like across all ball moves. So they all work the same way.
Okay.
Yeah, so to answer your question, yeah, behind the backs and the escapes and all the dribble moves, they should behave similarly. But as a defender, yeah, read the play, cut off the ball handler, reach at the right time if you want to pop the ball out.
All right, shifting to dribbling. A lot of the community, especially the more dribble-heavy players, have asked for more customization in dribble moves instead of, one dribble move containing 3 or 4 different moves within that package, kind of breaking those down. Is that something we could see?
Yeah,
That
I was gonna say
shit
another
crazy.
cool addition for 27 is
That
I
they
remember if
did
they're
that,
all broken down.
it's
Almost
gonna
all of
get
them.
bad.
I'm not
Niggas
say
gonna be
all, 'cause then I'll
dribbling
probably get fired if
crazy.
it's not true. But I believe we broke down all of them into their own individual moves, or almost all.
Brody, it's
So
gonna
like
be bad.
triple threat used to have like, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 categories. Now it's broken down into like the stance, and it's broken down into the jabs are separate, the step overs are separate, the side step is separate.
It's gonna be
Size up packages was the big one, which you guys use all the time.
Yep.
So now you can choose your behind the back escape, you can choose your hezzy escape, your cross escape, all separately, so you can mix and match with different players. Very cool. Even like the crossover, the driving crossover is different from the standing ones.
This shit about to.
Yeah, it's pretty much you're pretty much free to mix and match whatever you want.
Free to customize your dribble package
Yeah.
as uniquely or non-uniquely as possible.
Yeah, so it might be a little nutty. Like some of these,
Dribble heads out here might make some pretty OP packages, but it's gonna be fun. It'll be fun to see what people build, and hopefully they don't all go to the same YouTube videos and put all the same SIGs on and have some variation, because there's a lot of good moves in the game this year. A lot of new ones, a lot of new pro play ones.
Staying on the topic of dribbling, another big talking point in the community was moves that kind of phase through people's bodies, specifically like the Devin Booker breakdown combo, where you're just phasing through somebody and you could go into a shot or a fade or a spin shot, or even just doing it to crab a defender. Have any animations been removed?
Yeah, the D-Book one was redone. We got a new pro play animation for him.
yeah, there've been some changes there. So we monitor feedback all the time and try to figure out what the bad animations are. So D-Book is gone, the Kyrie escape is gone. There's a bunch of new animations, so there's going to be the same thing we go through every year, where hopefully there's no new issues.
All right, staying on the topic of dribbling, is adrenaline back? Anything dribbling-wise that's changed that you think is noteworthy that is going to have an impact on the way we play?
Yeah.
Adrenaline is back, but we did tune it back a little bit, so it's not so like punishing. But they're back. But dribbling in general, yeah, a lot of changes. We did a lot with some new tech, with machine learning to like try and smooth out some of the transitions. So that's something that's more aesthetic than functional, but it looks better. And a big change that we did is with the signature size ups. Last year they were kind of built as these little movies that you had to flick your stick back and forth to try and match the movie to get it to keep going. But there wasn't a lot of creativity there. You're basically watching a movie play. It might as well have been flick up on the stick and just let the movie play. So this year we're going back to a 1-to-1 system, which feels pretty good in my opinion, and it looks a lot better because of the new tech we put in to like improve the blends and the transitions. So it feels better and looks better than it did 2 years ago when it was like that. But yeah, you can feel a much more connected 1-to-1 with your ball handler when you're just doing in-play size ups.
A feature added last year, no dip. Is it back? Any changes? What can you tell us about no dips?
Yeah, no dips are back, but they're different. So we added a badge, and what it does is at the highest level, of the badge, it kind of acts like last year. But as you, on the lower levels, or if it's unequipped, then your no dips are a lot slower and not as effective. So you actually have to, there's actually a shooting penalty attached to no dipping. So, if you're
Shrinking the green window.
so the penalty will be basically hitting your rating. Basically, it's like if you were a worse shooter, if you're no dipping all the time. So you got to kind of weigh the consequences of well, should I take a smaller green window if it gives me a chance to get the shot off quicker, or should I kind of settle and take a more, relaxed shot to get the full size window?
And does that badge just affect the speed of the no dip or reduce the penalty?
Both, yeah. So the higher the badge,
then the smaller the penalty. I'm not sure where I'm going to land there yet with the penalty. That's going to be kind of work in progress, but I kind of want to put it on everybody, even like the highest level of the badge, so that it's not like just like 2K26, because it's already going to be fast. So It's already like, I don't want it to be a badge like, we got to get no dip badge, because we want it to be like 26. But I still want there to be a cost to using that mechanic generally. So it'll probably be a really small penalty, maybe not enough, but we'll see. I'm going to try and play around with that.
Any new features added to 2K27 that you think are noteworthy, that'll maybe give a little buzz to these last few weeks?
Well, since we're talking about gameplay, I'll shout out a couple small things. So one small but kind of cool addition this year is that the alley-oop finish button that you have.
Yep.
It's no longer random. It's looking at where the pass is coming from, and then you want to map the direction of the pass to the button that's on the sticks. So if the pass is coming from the right, you hit circle. If it's coming from the left, it's square. That makes sense?
Yep.
And you can also use the right stick for that too. So if the pass is coming from your right, hold to the right. From the left, hold to the left. Or behind, throw down.
Okay.
So a little mechanic, but it makes it a little more predictable if you're reading the play. There's a new no-look pass mechanic, which is kind of fun to use, where if you're holding if you're holding R1, it'll procedurally make the ball handler turn his head, kind of look away, and then use the right stick to throw the pass in the direction you want to throw it to. So it'll give you a little boost to kind of thread the needle a little bit, at the cost of, if you're a bad passer especially, at the cost of seeing more like fumbled catches and stuff.
Right.
So that's kind of cool. One of my favorites is the step through mechanic. So what we're doing with this is like, how Ant is always like doing pump fakes and then taking another 2 steps to get to the rim, to get the shots off. So anytime you pick up your dribble after a live dribble, you can do a step through jumper or layup by holding the right stick in like one of 5 directions. So pretty cool. Not a lot of people are using it yet, but when they see how powerful it is, then they'll start using it again. Or not again, but start using it because it's just a cool way to score, and a different way to score. Going back to dribbling, a nice little addition is you can do, the movies, the size up movies you do by holding sprint and flicking up on right stick.
Yep.
It's kind of a canned movie you get. We have a bunch of moving ones now. So if you're driving and you flick up on the stick, you can get a nice moving size up. So a nice way to break down your defender before you attack. Yeah, and I already mentioned earlier some of the other cool little dribble additions that are there. What else? One thing with finishing I really like, 2 things. With advanced gathers, so like hop steps, euros, and spins, we detach the gather from the finish. So what you'll get with that is, like, if you remember Steph Curry, he's got a euro where he wraps around his back and he finishes, right? You had to be in a very specific spot to always get that animation. Now it plays much more reliably if you assign this Curry Euro package, because that can play almost anywhere, and then it can branch to a dynamic finish that's like, rim aware. So you get a lot more just reliable signatures that way, and you get some cool things that just like, you can kind of create different ways to finish. And on top of finishing, we have a new machine learning driven dynamic layup finishing feature, where what it does is, if you're a high level finisher, it can manipulate your hand and your arm to avoid being blocked, which is kind of cool. So it's subtle, like instead of playing out the mocap as it originally was mocapped, because sometimes we mocap a guy who's going to the rim, maybe he's wide open.
Yep.
The game doesn't always know to choose that layup if he's only wide open. So maybe there's a blocker right in your face. So what this tech will do is it'll cause him to just extend his arm out a little bit and flick it up to get the shot off. So it's always evaluating defenders and where they are. And for the high-level finishers, it'll try to evade. And for like the really bad finishers, then sometimes we'll do the opposite and almost like put the ball toward the defenders, so they'll see a bunch of blocks. Like they'll be less aware. And for us, that's another way to balance the game, like just to get blocks to be correct, and to get finishers to the good finishers to be separated from the bad finishers.
All right, Mike. Well, I appreciate you again having a nice long conversation with me, and hopefully we'll do it again next year.
Pleasure.